And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Nations 2 as Ethiopia into East Africa. So today we are obviously East Africa, as you can see sprawled across the globe here. There was a minor patch 2 days ago, so the previous stream was 4 days ago. Hopefully that did not significantly change economic balance, because otherwise we might be a bit bankrupt by the looks of it. I think there's some things that just haven't been calculated here on load that'll probably calculate properly as we unpause. Maybe export a little bit more industrial capacity, for example. I suppose I can also futz with the taxes a bit, see if that helps. Calculation. That didn't seem to really help the calculation. Okay. That is actually our maximum tax rate. Although that little bit of futz there did a lot to give you an idea of how valuable just raw population here is on the world. I mean, your tax. So, we are the Shadow Empire and the Diplomatic Empire. So, Diplomatic Empire is running as extra diplomatic capacity. Shadow Empire provides diplomatic capacity and operation effect at the cost of unit morale. We could technically chuck this at some point in the future. If we don't want Shadow Empire anymore. If we want to basically come out of the shadows and compete on the world stage, let's say. Let's go through the people we're sort of spying on. So we're trying to make proxy of pretty much the rest of Africa. So this example, this is Zimbabwe. We need to get 28 more points. I can, in theory, get 29 more from just improving your relations. So if we're just patient enough, we should get the approval there. Plus, I think we're getting some leverage points on them, so we'll get it even a little bit earlier than that. China, so East Asia People's Federation, so this is the unifier that China's gone with. Them, I think we're simply extracting economic value from them. We've got economic infiltration turned on. I think that's what we're turned on here. I've got economic infiltration turned on, and I've got embezzle funds, to siphon funds off of them. That might be one of the things that's not showing, and maybe it isn't starting with the embezzle funds on load here. I could even go so far as to steal resources from them. I'm not going to do that. I think this is another ongoing thing. With Eritrea, we're up to 25, and get another 35 from base. So in theory, we can get this to the point where we'll be able to bank proxy using the favors. This one's probably going to be the closest to not, because of the negative, well, not really the negative, but really the lack of ideological alignment. And I've got curry favors, political infiltration going on for the most for curry favors. And then we have enough I could do diplomatic coercion, which we'll do specifically against them. Algeria, so the big one up in the northeast here. We've got 45. Gotta get another 16 because they're fairly big. But again, even base-wise, we actually got another 35 available, so 16, 17 years we should be able to integrate them. Senegal. Same sort of thing there. Gambia, Guinea, Ivory Coast. I think the Ivory Coast is the one we need to integrate. Or not Ivory Coast. What did we do? No, Nigeria. Nigeria, if we integrate, they've got enough people. I think that will give us the people we need to officially become the African Union. And then South Africa at 42. South Africa's probably one of the more soon to happen ones. Yeah, let's unpause. Okay, our budget didn't immediately fix itself. Let's export some stuff to see if that helps. It helped a little bit. We're still running a pretty big deficit. And definitely something's been changed on the manpower draw. So let's go ahead and disband some of my armies that I've inherited. Expand this one for South Africa. Gotta get back under our manpower difference. I think we just finished up diplomatic in the last one, so we did a bunch of integrations back to back. Oh, and we stopped someone who was in the middle of war with someone else. That's, well, I suppose good for the person we stopped from being invaded. Okay, that frees up some more funds that we can, or more industrial capacity we can export for more revenue. I can even go turn around and export some of our Air Force limit. See how that plays out. Yep, that's a little bit more closer to balance. What am I spending on money that changed so significantly between streams? Oh, and a reminder for people that are watching, we are... oh, in this game I'm less sure, but in this game I've gone ahead and swapped out the audio for Stellaris' background soundtrack. So we're running Stellaris up in the background for audio reasons. Well, the audio from the soundtrack from Stellaris, not actually running Stellaris in the background. Yeah, I'm going to do something to increase our profitability. Definitely not earning as much as I was previously. Not 100% sure why. Yeah, culture, we got diplomatic frontier spirit done. Probably work up monumentalist next. Build speed's less important, but these two are pretty nice. That one's pretty nice. Unity is always great. Corporate faction powers, take it or lose it, and then project count or cost reduction is also nice. The game's be a little bit. Oh, and we started improving relations with Brazil because apparently they've got a bit of Africa here, and they're relatively aligned with us, so we can get an integration probably with them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something to generate more revenue. Go the old steel refinery spam. We'll get that building everywhere where we've got steel refineries to build. That's probably not gonna make a big enough difference. I may have to... What I'll probably have to do is drop... education spending a tier. Go from high to medium. We can't get the budget balanced. Or we'll hit the point where we can do some diplomatic integrations, one of the two. Oh, leaders! I forgot about my leaders. One of our leaders changed, didn't they? Okay, so the premier is you. It's a little concerning that when we have the game paused, the nuke went off. So the Premier provides resource development equilibrium on management. Do I want to make factions happier, or do I want to do management? I think we want to do management here. Do investment. Normally I want to do factions, but the factions are already very happy, so I don't necessarily need them happier. Defense Minister is pretty easy. We want you to obviously have a military one. The commander's not too bad either. Interior Minister wants management for tax base. So the economist there. Hey, we have a bunch of leaders we don't really care about. We just care about like the ones that have jobs. For the moment. That helped a little bit. Also got a decent amount of stability. Is there anything I want to change? We're on defensive for espionage. I probably want to swap that to... No, probably leave it on. If we'd swapped it earlier, I probably would have swapped to defensive. Soft power there. Civil liberties are restricted, which is fine. We are conservative. Top growth is tempting for growing agrarian. Yeah, I think we'll stay on this. Probably swap to agrarian at some point, and then we're administration. Policy-wise, on protection. Do you want to go free trade? We lose the resource income, but we gain tax base. Most of our income is coming from tax base. That probably would be an effective trade. Sure, we'll swap to free trade. Unlimited conscription, which is fine. We're neutral fiscal policy. Probably just keep this neutral. Well, there's maybe an argument to go for inflationary if we think we can swing it. Okay, we'll unpause and see how that affects the budget. Still running a little bit of a deficit there. There we go. That put us in positive. Okay. And the improvements to the tax base probably. And now that we know we're positive, we can do things that benefit us in other ways. So let's macro build survey results. So we surveyed multiple places there. We're having our colony expand on Mars. And here on Earth, we're doing diplomatic integrations of people. And we're having nuclear exchanges over here, which aren't great. For example, Bhutan is no longer owned by anyone. Okay, can make a big next culture idea. I think I'm going to go monumentalism for the project count cost reduction. It's going to take a while to get down there, but I think it'll be worth it. Yeah, I definitely have enough stability. Is there any more situations I want to pick up? Unity faction loyalty is tempting. Yeah, let's pick up idealistic foundation here for the Unity growth. We're not actively working on something that's Unity, but we may do more Unity in the future. And then could add up more policies. Can't level you up. Here's an argument to hand something out to the rural if we can give a good one to the rural. And development equilibrium growth is great. Although stability drain would not be super great if I'm trying to do logic colonization. Activate arms, competitive employment. Let's do competitive employment. And I'll help a little bit with the development equilibrium, as well as provide a little bit of build cost reduction. I'm trying to make use of my surplus stability here. Obviously, we can get all the factions green, that's just good. Bit of a slow start to the stream here, as we're getting used to, I suppose, the current state of the patch, because I think the patch changed something in the economic calculations that happened 2 days ago. We'll continue to evaluate diplomatic integrations, and apparently keep hearing the bombs go off in the distance. I'm not appreciative of nukes flying on planet Earth while we still live here. So there was a negative 12 there. So negative 12 is probably the next one that's coming up. Negative 12 was you, Algeria. So I've got 8 favors. Algeria is far enough along I can... Oh, next year I'll be able to do diplomatic coercion for a little more carry favor. Yeah, we got 8 favors there, so we really only need to wait for like 4 years. We should be able to integrate them. So you're providing some culture bonus, providing some unity bonus. But yeah, some of the capacities up here provide bonuses for having a certain amount of surplus. So you usually want to carry that level of surplus if you can. So it's going to be... I know China is one of the people chucking the nukes. I think they're on the receiving end of the nukes as well, but I know they're chucking them. Let's futz with them a little bit by instigating another crisis for them. Up in the millions. I should be spending that. Let's get these surveys going. Yeah, we'll finish with the surveys. I guess it's negatives, but I think that's fine. And then I think we have all the steel refineries queued up, yeah. And we'll bounce back into the positives fairly quickly here. I don't want to spend a long period of time or go particularly deep into debt because we do like our research and unity speed. And we're getting most of our income from development equilibrium. So if our development equilibrium gets too terrible, we're going to have problems trying to actually fund the government. Oh, my colony finished. Whoops. Should get another one going. So we're going to focus on probably finishing out Mars if we can. So my iron deposit, work best to least. would like to keep at least one colony going at all times. You should be the nearest place. Obviously, we want a steel refinery going there. Then I can survey you as well, finding more iron. More iron means that steel refinery is going to be even better when it completes. Probably should check here. So you're the corporate commander. Corporate commander benefits from management. You're not being presented with a management one, though. You're being presented with an activist. We'll give you activist, because that's better. So some unity at the cost of yearly unrest. We can probably stem the yearly unrest if you actually govern any place. As you can see, we're very rapidly swinging back towards positive from the Treasury standpoint. We just don't want to go too deep into debt because we want to keep that development equilibrium balance low. There may even be an argument for saving up at this point to pick up the Wonder out in the asteroid belts. Okay, we just rolled around into a January, so our diplomacy should have taken effect. That appeared to be Israel getting moved there. I don't know what causes the AI to be very prone to dropping the bomb whenever I'm pausing the game here. Make proxy, -10. So we're almost there. We need 2 more. So in 3 years, we should be able to get you in. Not very far off in South Africa either. Okay. Got you. Take the next on monumental list for the project efficiency. That should make us even more profitable. That may even fix the genetic material shortfall here. No luck. Okay, I'm back up to 3, or back up to 50 stability. So I suppose the question now, I don't think there's any more situations we want to pick up for the moment. I think I go pretty heavy on the colonization here for the moment. So let's go expansion, and you. And the reason is until we integrate someone else, I don't really need to be generating more stability. Instead, we'll convert that into more territory by colonization. There we go. Tech complete. Interplanetary colonization. So more range, more spaceport level upgrade, and more importantly, we pick up the terraforming buildings. And then I think when we finish these colonizations, we'll have people to diplomatically integrate. So we'll use some of our leftover capacity, the new stability coming back in, to recover from ending puppeting status for the proxies. Okay, you're done. We're going to want deposit surveyed, deposit surveyed. So bunch more metal, followed up with a steel refinery. Some of the people we were doing diplomacy on have ceased to exist by the looks of it. Let's roll over in January and we reevaluate if we can integrate anyone. Okay, the list of people I'm doing spying on is apparently gone down. One more month we will do Algeria. Gambia's a couple years. Or not one more month, one more year and we will do Algeria. Nigeria tanked hard. My guess with Nigeria is that they got integrated into someone and then spat back out again because they didn't look like they're going to be stable enough to keep him. Because that feels like we had our diplomatic relations reset. South Africa's like 2 years. And we're getting malice here from size. Relative prestige. Well, we got enough I can start getting curry favors on you. The favors we might be able to do you. Use the favors to make up for the size change. We're definitely getting population growth, I think, in places where we have the consuming, which makes sense. The 4 places or so are probably growing. Oh, people just not dying. Okay, what do I want to build? All the steel refineries are in. All the surveys are done. Suppose I am currently importing at great expense some genetic material, so there may be an argument to build some genetic material. See how that has an effect on genetic material levels. Those buildings do have an upkeep, so I don't want to overbuild them. Although we want, ideally, probably at some point want to do all of Earth with those, because that makes the people on Earth live longer, where our main population centers are. Just making it so that people don't die as early is beneficial. Okay, let's do another pass. Algeria, I need 7 favors. We have 8. So Algeria, welcome to East Africa. And we'll integrate the administration. You're just the one tile? I think I might just put it in one place. Gambia is 11, we got 8. 47 because that reset. 8, and I have 8. So I need 1 more year for South Africa. And then Brazil, I need 19. We can get another... Actually, can get... Because they've really ideologically aligned with us. Did not realize just how ideologically aligned they are with us. Yeah, if I'm just wait long enough, we can do it. We can do Brazil. We are East Africa, South Africa, Gambia, Bosnia. do I want to get involved in Europe? Why not? So improve relations there. Colombia, Serbia, Albania, one of the Russias. In fact, actually both the Russias. Russia's having a problem, apparently. All I can say is it's not my fault. Well, not directly my fault. Okay, so in like 30 years, a bunch of those people will probably be just incredible. Next culture choice, we can take monumentalist for monumental ideology, industry capacity. I apparently need to import more genetic material as our population continues to grow. Western Sahara. Has a high unrest because someone owned it. We haven't actually made them stop being a territory, so we'll do that. Apparently we're integrating them as well. So they were conquered by someone in the war. And apparently I have enough stability that I should probably just be colonizing more. Expansion. Actually, that's losing me a little bit of stability. Although a little bit of stability lost when we're sitting around 50 is probably fine. Oh, and then one of our colonies finished. Solves the problem. With the colony done, I'm gonna want a steel refinery going. That's one that's gonna generate 2K in revenue, even before the surveys. Probably at the point where it can cause another crisis in China, so we'll do that. Espionage. I don't really need to sabotage their colonization. Let's just spawn them another crisis. Suppose we might as well go spy on the US of A as well. Build spy network. Focus infiltration. Hopefully one of our colonies finished. Anyway, because of the wars down here, we were set back a little bit in integrating some of Africa. Gambia, we're at 52. I've got 8. I think I technically need a positive number, so I actually need like 1 more year for Gambia. So we'll be checking this again next year. Nigeria was the big setback. Nigeria is the one with all the population as well, so that's why that's a big setback. South Africa. It is time you become one with East Africa. And Brazil, only -16. We're only getting 4 from leverage, but... More steel. Always more steel. NATO is 21%. So the question here is, do I finally make my own organization? I think we do. Market fee or... Yeah, let's do economic union. East Africa, no. We're going to become the African economic union. Keep the name simple. African Economic Union. And that gives us pay money to do yearly cohesion, which will give us more of a bonus there. In theory, we now got access to the union, the mission tree for here. You have to click it to complete these. Worry about that for the moment. Let's begin inviting people in Africa first. Ah, so that's what happened to Eritrea. Eritrea got annexed by Turkey. They're not impossible to diplomatically annex. It would be hard, but not impossible. Let's start working on them because we do want Africa. Start with so we know we have a big setback on Nigeria. Let's start by... Oh, they don't even want to come into the African Union. Well, that's why you're slightly off code. Excuse me while we provoke your semi-independence. Mozambique 1, okay. Let's invite them to join the African Economic Union. Oh, we immediately completed these missions. They auto-complete. So we got 5% more development indefinitely, I believe. That might have just been 5% straight up. And then forever, we get project cost reduction. Okay. If we can get the cohesion over 10%, we get tariff congress. We have enough loyalists, so the clearing bank would probably immediately complete if we did that. Got enough industrial capacity for that, completed if we did that. One quality of commerce. Okay, so there is an argument here that I in favor of. I should do economic incentives here, even though this is expensive. get another culture trait. Macroscopic infrastructure. Infrastructure efficiency. Yeah, running a little bit of deficit while we've got that economic thing running. A little bit of a concern. Although we're going to get improving resource economy, or resource income, so that'll probably help. So, score in. Can I invite? No, you're -7. -41. I could invite Iran. We'll do that. Invite them next. And there we are, back in the positives due to the improving economy brought about due to the economic incentives here. Probably also combined with, you know, colonization finishing. Survey, we'll run a little bit in debt. Pick up these surveys. And then we'll do the steel refinery. Oh, someone died. Succeeded their predecessor. Whom? That's someone I should care about. The Interior Minister wants management. So we'll take investor there. That'll give us a little more tax base. Yeah, and to begin the unification of African Union, we need 80% of the population of Africa. We got like 60, 70% already. Okay, let's start doing some stuff to the USA, espionage-wise. Ooh, they have technology I don't have. Let's siphon research in the meantime. And then we want to save up to 75 there. Give them another crisis. There we go. Got enough to invite you into the union. Make a proxy in Gambia. Not that Gambia is a big member, but more than nothing. Make proxy -8. I got +8, so one more year and we should be good for Brazil. Brazil will be a big win because obviously they've taken some stuff over. Interplanetary trade is done. So This gives me access to the commercial zone, as well as the service industry to boost the commercial zone in the commerce deposit. And you have some development equilibrium, so we probably want to put that on Earth for the development equilibrium. Commercial zone. At 23k, and it's going to produce a K a year in theory. So that's definitely, the first tier definitely makes sense. And then we finished integrating some of those territories, so we're definitely getting stability faster. .6, almost 4.7 billion people, growing at 31 million a year. And now we're back onto interplanetary culture. Just has some, most importantly, has some unity. Integration cost reduction will be nice as well. There we go. So I want you surveyed. More iron, more iron. Well, more iron is at least decent steel refinery. And we pick up Monumentalist for more unity. I should be in the place where I think we can negotiate with Brazil for their integration. -8, we got 9, so yes. There we go. And they've taken over Nigeria, okay. Meantime. That probably gives me enough that I can officially become the AU. African Union. Yeah, Nigeria is a fairly dense population area, so integrating that cost us. Okay, I think I've done all the weirdly colored territories. Not much all the independent ones. So we still got Mozambique to take, diplomatic, and we still have you to take diplomatically. And obviously from an integration standpoint, we're going to have Brazil. Let's be integrated in Brazil, over in Brazil. that's my New World holdings. Don't necessarily appreciate that Venezuela, there's a chunk of it that has got no people in it. People in using the nukes this game. And yeah. Unsurprisingly, we're able to do the unification of African Union. We control more than 80% of the African population. Here we go, picked up the achievement for African unification. And I have now picked up the event Earth Contender. With a continent unified, it's now time to set our sight on World Conquest. World Conquest, we don't need this. We'll click it. Worst case, I can probably abandon it. Okay, so that may be a bit bad, because that's saddling us with a -5 opinion. In exchange, we do get a mission tree here. So, Continental Contender, that'll lower integration cost going forward. We don't have a military size over 40 million. And don't have Psychology 4 yet. And then this sort of pushes us towards taking over all the continents one at a time until we have a Unification Day result. Oop. Something changed, but it's negative. Probably delete some of the forces we just inherited. So Air Force here, we delete you. You're locked in, so can't delete you. Let's unpause for a moment. That actually, current budget does appear to be a current budget. You went up. Let's turn off the economic incentives for the moment, because that'll put us back in the positives. Puts us back in the positives. I believe that the economic benefits here scales with population, so we need to get the population to be more profitable, relatively speaking. And apparently I have some space destroyers. Trying to balance our manpower requirements, because obviously we don't have enough manpower. Export all this, there we go. And then we can export some more industrial capacity. And we can export some of the other stuff with Air Force limit. Keep the space fleet capacity, that'll be useful. I really don't need the naval capacity. Okay. The United States, let's steal some technology from them. So we installed handheld railguns. Very favors infiltration in Turkey. I did make them harder due to the world conquest modifier. They should still be just within the range of plausible. Good. Acknowledging that I did in fact make them harder. It was maybe not exactly what we wanted to do, but it is what we did. Mozambique's merge again. Back to one Mozambique. Yeah, we're back to one Mozambique. And we're pretty much all of Africa except for Mozambique and the bit of Eritrea that Turkey took over. Interplanetary culture complete. Apparently our industrial capacity requirements went up a bit. And that was what I had queued up. So, needless to say, we are pretty slow at technology. We should be fairly culturally unified if we were to, say, evaluate doing a culture tech. Yeah, we're like 4 times faster at doing culture research. We do have some stuff that requires integration 4, so we'll go to integration 4. Pick up the acclimatizations. Social cohesions. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And we'll probably be mostly stealing technology away from people while we're waiting for all of Africa's education to rise. We've put them on like the maximum education training regime. Like, yeah, guys, you gotta learn how to read and write. You gotta be like European level education. But that's not instantaneous. It takes time. Yeah, that's time we probably have, but Algeria has high unrest, although it should be declining, declining very rapidly. Anyway, going back to economic incentives here, still 1 million. I think we want a little bit more income before we do that. Colony is done. Okay, finish the surveys. Do the steel refineries. And then get some expansions going. With the unification, we're back up in the 50s. Stability-wise, the unification gave us 20, to be fair. So let's get to colonizing more rapidly on Mars. Oh, the East People's Federation thinks they're going to take that spot. They're going to be sorely mistaken. And we're up to 6.9, almost 7 billion people. There's the African Union here. Space Predator Tim, is the United States in West Africa? No. The United States is up in the United States, I believe. I think what you were saying, I'm maybe a little bit slow responding to your comment. What you were saying was Brazil was in West Africa. Although maybe Brazil was allied with the United States because Brazil was invading places in my backyard, and we're just being shit on. Probably like, they take it over, we'll just take them over, and everything will be fine in the end. Okay, corporate power. Probably gonna take the last one, Monumentalist, and then we will wait for the era to swap over so we can go for the idea group of Steel Jungle. Oops, someone died. Amara Dalamini. I don't think it was any of our governing coalition, although Umar here, as the corporate commander, could do with a little bit more admin, so we can pick up the Economist. And we've got a big chunk of the Earth population. Something, something. People have been chucking nukes back and forth. And we've completed continental contention and standard weights for industrial capacity. Nice. So continental contention is world conquest. Gotta get Psychology 4 for that one to complete. No, just Culture Pad. That's actually not super valuable. That's the more important one out of the two, although... Strategic Capacity... I think that's, Is that the bomb? Yeah, that's the bomb. So once this have a military over 40 million and 5k in missiles, to move on to the next tier. Where we'd immediately pick up the reward for African ambition, maybe a little less so for the other ones. Although, actually, we're pretty close to completing South America as well. And the other one we got is the African Union. We've got market courts. I'm surprised that hasn't... Although, maybe we did get that paid out already. Need the cohesion over 5% for that to clear, which would clear that one. If we have social cohesion 3, which wouldn't be that far off, we'd get that one pretty quickly. Has 1 quality of commerce. I assume that needs probably Tariff Congress if that hasn't auto-completed. Oh, that's one I have to actually click. Okay. Some of these auto-complete when they're done, some of them you gotta click. Merchant Marine here. Just click U as well. Film Equilibrium unit speed. Need more logistics hubs to complete that one for project efficiency. And then need social cohesion. Social cohesion 3, social cohesion 4. We need a bunch in the treasury, which actually isn't that hard to do. That's the end of the tree. Which is get the cohesion up to 100%. Okay. And yeah, we're up in the 2 millions, so that's actually a good place to be. Once we're back in the green, I'll probably begin enabling economic incentives again. Culture to pick up, so there's Mastery of Monuments. Just saying, I was thinking it was an army moving by West Africa. That might have been. I wasn't paying too much attention out in the oceans. Is integration 3 done? Did someone die? Places his predecessor. Ah, the Interior Minister is different. The Interior Minister wants to have good management skill. The current one has terrible management skills, so he's being replaced. The level 0 with a 19. I think the level 0 with a 19 is getting the job. And then the Defense Minister is going to pick up the Carry Commander. And yeah, we're beating Mars Lost Colony. Or beating China and Mars Lost Colony. Okay. 2 places finished at the same time. Get them both their surveys. Get the steel refineries going in both places. And get more colonies going. Anyway, we're back in the green, so let's begin economic incentives to get cohesion up in the economic union here. The more resource income would be nice, although we're not making as much as from resources as we are from just raw income tax, because, you know, billions of people produce billions of income tax. Okay, we just had a year tick. Let's do a rummage through the people who like us. Figure out how many of those are close to unification. Bosnia, 48. Build spy network. Colombia, 47. Build spy network. Serbia, build spy network. Albania, spy network. Laos, spy network. Thailand, spy network. In practice, anything that's over 10 right now, we can probably diplomatically annex. So, crew relations, build spy network, all these places. Join the one great power that has not dropped the bomb. We have a couple bombs, I think we've inherited some, but we haven't used them. Already doing Turkey. Well, that's a little bit disappointing with Turkey. Although, yeah, I think Turkey's still doable. Turkey's gonna be... it's gonna take a while for Turkey. Okay. And then, as far as cultures, we're running natalism for extra pop growth in decent conditions. Decent conditions, and neutral for the accepted cultures. Decent conditions and neutral for the unaccepted ones. And we don't have any oppressed cultures right now. Do I want to go up to something like Ultimate Liberty? Education efficiency is tempting. Resource income is tempting. This is probably the one I'd go with. Either academic privilege for the extra education efficiency. I think we stick on decent conditions for the moment. I will go and put the accepted cultures on natalism. We'll lose a little bit of income from the workforce ratio going down. We'll get more pop growth that way. Look at the time, I should put a part break in here. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're now officially the African Union. And now that we've set up the African Economic Union, we are 36% of the way to victory. Just by being us. And the economic power that is being the majority of Africa and a fairly large chunk of South America. We'll be spreading the good tidings of the African Economic Union around the world. even as we do our sort of peaceful annexation of large portions of it. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I let this part go a little bit long, but we are going to put a part break in here before we get on to the next part. So until the next part, I wish you all best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.